Termites! It's night 19. How exciting is that? Look at this. We have a little Thor as well. I think I've drank this on here before because I'm definitely doubling up now. If I had this many bottles, somebody should send an interventionist over here. It's time we got into repeats. No worries, though. Now, where did we leave off? By the way, have you guys seen The Serpent on Netflix? I would recommend it. Have you seen the one about the art heist in Boston? Play a drinking game every time somebody from Boston says, "at." Makes me laugh so hard. The accent with what happened. There ain't no paintings. That's what the one guy said when they accused him of that he stole them. It's called This Is a Robbery. It's on Netflix. It's very good. We'll be talking in depth about it on the pubcast, but there you go. Tell your friends to subscribe. Okay, there you go. Now it's my advertisement. Moving on. It's free. Everything's free. Everything is free. So Liberace is dynamite. He's going to do the greatest show of his life. He's ready, right? Liberace continued making news. After appearing on the Ed Sullivan Show to promote Sincerely Yours, that's the movie that didn't do that good, he complained about the lack of rehearsal time and the lack of ample plugs for the movie by the television host. Uh-oh. Ed Sullivan responded with a burst of Irish temper. "It's absolutely enraging," said Sullivan. "What's biting this guy is the flop of his picture. How can he blame it on us? I haven't the slightest conception. We've always been good friends, and I paid him a good salary." He detailed his efforts in persuading Rise Stevens to sing Cement Mixer with Liberace, hiring George Liberace and other musicians, sending a Baldwin piano to Liberace's Ambassador Hotel suite for practice while he was ill. Liberace was afforded so much rehearsal, said Sullivan, that another guest on the show, Phil Silvers, he was an old-timey comedian, asked, "What do I have to do to get rehearsal time? Play the piano?" Sullivan concluded, "Liberace won't be on our show again." Oh, that's a big deal at the time. A different kind of confrontation occurred in Las Vegas. One night during Liberace's engagement at the Riviera, Elvis Presley appeared in the audience. What? It's fucking crazy the two of them were in the same place. Liberace sent a message that he would be happy to meet with the new musical sensation in his dressing room. The Riviera press hurriedly notified reporters and photographers, and they were present to record the meeting of the two musical idols. "Elvis, why don't you and Lee change jackets?" suggested the press agent. Elvis donned the gold sequin tuxedo jacket, and Liberace put on Elvis' sport jacket. The cameras clicked. The press agent had borrowed a guitar from a member of the band and handed it to Liberace, saying, "How about another switch? You play guitar and Elvis can play piano." The photographers shot furiously as Liberace and Elvis conducted a jam session for 20 minutes playing Hound Dog and I'll Be Seeing You and other songs associated with each of them. Liberace provided the moral for the reporters. "Elvis and I may be characters, me with my gold jackets and him with sideburns, but we can afford to be." Oh, I like it. Chapter 8, An Innocent Abroad, or Why Aren't the British Polite Anymore? I didn't know they had that reputation to begin with. The European trip of early autumn 1956 was planned with the greatest care, was designed to enhance Liberace's international reputation and to create publicity to shore up his popularity back home. The eventuality proved anew that Liberace and his handlers at this stage in his career were unable to maintain control of happenings. During the planning stage, a press agent was dispatched from Hollywood to London to work out details of the trip in conjunction with British counterparts. The auguries seemed favorable since Liberace had become something of a fad, especially with mature women, but also teenage girls because of his television show, the movie Sincerely Yours, and his record albums. The Liberace troupe, which included here's his posse, his mom, George, and Seymour, some managers, sailed on the Queen Mary, oh lordy, from New York in early September 1956. I've never been on the Queen Mary. I don't really think that I don't care enough. Lou did it. He liked it. But Lou likes to lounge around like that. On the second day of the voyage, Liberace was walking around the deck when he encountered a slim figure with a bored, instantly recognizable face. "Liberace, I believe," said Noel Coward. Amazed to be recognized by such eminence, Liberace wondered what it would be next if he would be next to be skewered by the famed Coward wit. The Mandarin smile gave no hint. "I've seen your act," Coward continued, adding another pause to allow Liberace to wonder what was coming next. After a long beat, the conclusion, "You do what you do very well." Oh. The Liberace let's call it the posse. The Liberace posse arrived in Southampton on September 25th, 1956, and was greeted by members of the press and a crowd of cheering fans. The press and some of the fans climbed aboard a train called the Liberace Special, which had been chartered for $2,000. Liberace walked through the cars on the journey to London chatting with everyone. That is hilarious. Somebody should do that now. Some, musician people, they should fly to London or somewhere where you take a train and then you everybody gets on the train, because that's better than committing to a cruise. Some of the people do this so and such cruise. Then you just walk through the train cars and then you're done and everybody had a great time. How fun is that? That's a throwback idea. It needs to come back wherever trains are popular in London, maybe on the East Coast. The arrival at Waterloo Station was more than the advance men had bargained for. The crowd, a curious mixture of motherly types and girls in shorts and bobby socks, surged forward to gain a view of Liberace. He remained cool, observing, "I understand you've had a rather unpleasant summer. Perhaps we can bring a little sunshine to England." The crowd shouted approval. "Isn't he lovely?" shrieked a girl who was clutching a bouquet of fake flowers. Okay, that's when I have to tell you this story. This is so funny. My friend Scott, he has since passed away, loved Blink-182, the band, right? And he said, "Will you go with me?" I said, "Scott, I don't want to," this was in LA somewhere. I go, "I don't care about Blink-182. Don't make me sit there." He goes, "Come on, nobody else will go." And then I went online and I saw that they had a Parental Beer Garden. So even though Scott and I were the same age, at age 32, I said, "Do you care if I go in? What if I just stay for a few songs? Can I then go out to the Parents' Beer Garden and then come back in?" He agreed to that. So I go in, and we are definitely, at 32, the oldest people there by a lot. We should be someone's parents. And technically, I think I was Scott's parent that day. But so there's these teenage girls streaking behind. They're just shrieking behind us, "I love him, I love him." And I don't even know which one they were talking about. And then this other girl says about one of the Blink-182 guys, and I don't even know if it's true or not, but and my friend Scott was gay, and she's talking about one of the Blink-182 guys, and she wrote, she said, "He's so gay." And Scott goes, "I know, isn't that exciting?" I was like, "Oh my God, Scott, you're 32. These people behind us are 13. I'm going to the beer garden." And then I met other parents, and they were like, "How old is your child?" I'm like, 32. He's a gay man in a FUBU shirt in there, and he has a southern accent. Don't let all that fool you. Whew. Anyway, when I heard shrieking girls, that's what I'll always think of. There was a dissenting vote in the crowd. A handful of men were booing. Oh my God. They held signs proclaiming, "We hate Liberace. Charlie Kuntz forever." Kuntz was a 50-ish pianist who had been playing jazz for English audiences since the 20s. Oh God. The Waterloo station foreman told the reporter that the Liberace reception was akin to that accorded royalty. The difference was that British Railways did not provide a red carpet. Instead, Liberace walked on a carpet of paper rose petals. Oh. 50 police struggled vainly to control the crowd, and several formed a flying wedge to escort Liberace and his party to a pair of Daimlers, the car favored, I don't know how you pronounce it, the car favored by the royal family. Chauffeurs and footmen bowed as Liberace approached. The cars departed amongst great cheers. Liberace received a different kind of reception at his first press conference. A few of the reporters tried to be objective, but the others questioned him as if he were the latest serial murderer. "Do you have a normal sex life?" a reporter demanded. "What?" "Yes," Liberace responded blandly. "Do you?" The reporters bore in on their quarry, hoping to trap him in absurdities. Liberace never lost his equilibrium, but that didn't stop the reporters from twisting his words to fit their purposes. More hostility at the Royal Festival Hall. Pickets appeared outside with signs reading, "It's alive, down with Liberace, Britain will rise again." What? Simmer down, people. He's an old gay guy who plays the piano. What do you give a shit? I don't even understand. The pickets were scarcely noticed by the 4,000 that poured into the venerable concert hall at admission prices ranging from 42 shillings, that would be $5.80, by comparison, the incomparable Dane Myra Hess would play Beethoven the following Sunday to a top price of 15 shillings, or $2.10. The hall manager said ticket demand for Liberace could have filled the place 3 times over. Good for him. When Liberace came on stage in his gold jacket, the audience reacted in a manner seldom seen in Britain, and certainly not in the Royal Festival Hall. Screams and yells as he waved hello, shrieks and shouts at every sly remark, thunderous cheers at the end of every selection. Each time Liberace wore a new jacket and required, "Do you want to come up and feel it?" Girls vaulted over seats and raced down the aisles for the opportunity. "I'm glad you like my jacket," he cracked, with a line that became standard in his act. "You ought to. You paid for it." Oh. Liberace admitted that his press notice has been less than complimentary, but he didn't want to name any of his critics. It would just make them famous. "Besides, I love everybody." Loud, persistent cheers. The press reactions to Liberace's performance was far different. The more polite notices assailed his smirk and smarm act and suggested he should be stoned with marshmallows. What? Stoned with marshmallows? It would be fine if someone would stone me with marshmallows. I enjoy a good marshmallow. I would prefer a Kit Kat. But if you're going to stone me with something, why not marshmallows? The Times, which rarely took notice of such populous happenings, published a review that stated, "The golden boy of a myriad households can sing quite agreeably and can amuse with his tap dancing. He can also play the piano quite unmusically and often in deplorable taste. His resourcefulness extends to variations on the conventional theme of evening dress. His black and gold suit looks more becoming in real life than it did on television when it appeared to be spun out of Frogspawn." What the fuck is Frogspawn? I don't know how these people think an American's going to take this seriously. Well, I don't even know what Frogspawn is. And you know what? I wouldn't have Googled it. Who cares? The apex of invective was produced by some of the notorious Cassandra William Connor of the racy tabloid Daily Mirror, circulation 4.5 million. He wrote, "He is the summit of sex, the pinnacle of masculine, feminine, and neuter." Oh. I don't know if that's a compliment. Everything he said, everything that he, she, and it can ever want. I spoke to sad but kindly men on this newspaper who have met every celebrity coming from America for the past 30 years. They say that this deadly, winking, sniggering, snuggling, chromium-plated, scent-impregnated, luminous, quivering... We should do this in a British accent. Who writes like this? They say that his deadly, winking, sniggering, snuggling, chromium-plated, scent-impregnated, luminous, quivering, giggling, fruit-flavored, mincing, ice-covered heap of mother love has had the biggest reception and impact on London since Charlie Chaplin arrived at the same station, Waterloo, in September 12, 1921. This appalling man, and I use the word appalling in no other sense of its true sense of terrifying, has hit this country in a way that is violent as Churchill receiving the cheers on VE Day. He reeks with emetic language that can only make grown men long for a quiet corner, a handkerchief, and the old heave-ho. Without doubt, he's the biggest sensational vomit of all time. Oh my God. People who write that, how much hate do you have to have? Like, even if I thought somebody was a cheese whiz and, you know, like a, I don't know, kind of just your general-of-the-mill cheesy person, you don't have to spew this kind of hate. Like, and I'm not saying don't say what was true, but just go, yeah, he's kind of hacky or whatever, but the ladies like him. Everybody gets the message. You don't need to go into all this. Slobbering over his mother, winking at his brother, and counting the cash at every second. This superb piece of calculating candy floss has an answer for every situation. Wow. Cassandra then cited examples of Liberace's comments on religion, mother love, world peace, and money, and added, no one since Amy Semple McPherson has purveyed a bigger, richer, and more varied slag heap of lilac-covered hokum. I don't even know what these people are talking about. Nobody anywhere has made so much money out of a high-speed piano playing with the ghost of Chopin gibbering on it at every note. There must be something wrong with us that our teenagers longing for sex and our middle-aged matrons fed up with the sex alike should fall for such a sugary mountain of jingling claptrap wrapped in such a preposterous clown. Wow, you gotta have a real fucking pole up your spine to write shit like that. Like, there's all kinds of things I don't like, and who cares? I know let's say I'm the reviewer. I just go in and go, you know what, old ladies and teenagers like them? Whatever. There's no reason to be that aggressive. You can say you thought he sucked, but that's just crazy. Right, Termites? I wonder if he got, we'll find out when I do keep reading if he even got to go sightseeing. Did he get to do anything fun while being called a preposterous, jiggling clown? You're a preposterous clown. But you know what? He didn't care. Good for him. Just go, you know, do your show and then go see Westminster Abbey. There you go. Do your show and get a secret top secret ride to Windsor Castle. That'd be fun, right? All right, Termites. Did you get your shots? Or some of you not getting shots? I can't even go down that argument. Everybody's got an opinion. Although I will say one of my friends goes, well, we always just live with viruses. Well, no, we solve things. There's a reason we don't have polio anymore. Because we have a vaccine. We fixed it. We solved it. How about scarlet fever? Anybody got that? No. How about measles? No, because do you all have that mark? That little thing that looks like it's a circle with little tiny divots in it. I used to think I didn't have one because I couldn't find one on my arm. They were smart. My doctor must have been a smart little cookie because mine's on the inside of my arm. Yeah, how about that? All right, Termites. Know this. You're springtime termites. You're good termites. You're worthy termites for sure. And it's almost summertime, so we can be off again. More vacation time. Wouldn't that be great? All right, termites. You ready? Night-night, termites.